3 weeks ago, I had gone to lunch with my MSU basketball coach, Brad Hughes. And over lunch, we discussed some of the problems that I'm having at my basketball academy. And while discussing these problems, the number one question that came up was, why is it that kids in Montana get less scholarships than kids, say, in the inner city or bigger states? And as we mulled over this question, we came up with three solutions. The first solution was that kids in Montana don't have gyms that are open 24/7 to where they can play and perfect their 10,000 hours on a craft. For instance, in California, if you go to a 24-hour fitness on a Friday night at about 12 or 1 in the morning, you'll find 15 to 20 kids playing a basketball game. The second solution was the fact that a lot of kids here in Bozeman have parents who own businesses, are pretty set and well off for life. And so all they have to do is really graduate high school, graduate college with a degree, and they get to step right into their destiny. And the third solution that we came up with is the fact that some of these small town schools in Montana are so small that the athletes literally have to play all three sports in order for them to...
Okay, go ahead. So let me see. First point was what?
The gyms being not open.
My first point, there's not the gyms. The second point?
Would be business owners.
My second point, mom and dad own their businesses. That's where they're going to go to work. The third point
is the small schools where all the kids have to play.
And the third point, this is the I don't know if you know that, but this is deaf people. This is literally number 3 for deaf. I used to be an interpreter, so this is number 3 for me, not that. This is W. So it's always number 3.
Okay.
So it's like my third point, literally, you're going wide. So it's like you're not quite cordoned off.
Okay.
I want to say one thing. You are going this way and you're committing with your body, and then you're looking over here, and it seems like you should go this way and stare them down, not go this way and
look the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, I get you might be trying to keep it moving, but I think you have to commit over to one way for longer,
And what
and
Jeff
then
is saying is true. It's like the intensity is so strong
and then you
that it literally creates a suction factor for everybody else. You've seen speakers do that.
Yeah.
So
One more thing, it doesn't sound like solutions, it sounds like observations.
yeah.
Okay. So I can use
There's a
observations.
little dichotomy in the way you were saying.
Right.
So, our 3 observations are...
Or another word, but solution
Is
doesn't
that-
feel
Yeah,
like.
so
Right.
one of the things we're thinking about is we came up with this brainstorm and we're investigating. I think, Lucy may be true.
create challenges.
Right.
Yeah, it should be observations.
Observations instead of solutions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
as opposed to solutions, because that's not, what you said, what you told us, the 3 points are not solutions.
Right.
They're
Right.
observations.
Observations. Okay. Start again. 3 weeks ago, I went to lunch with my MSU basketball coach, Mr. Brad Hughes. And over this lunch, we discussed some of the problems that I've been having at my basketball academy. And while going over some of these problems, the question arose, why is it that kids in Montana do not get the same amount of scholarships as kids in inner cities and big states? And while mulling over this question, we came up with 3 observations. The first observation was the fact that there are not enough basketball gyms open 24/7 for kids to be able to work on their 10,000 hours that it takes for them to master a craft. For instance, you can go to any inner city and any 24-hour fitness and see kids on Friday nights at 12 or 1 in the morning playing basketball, up to about 20 of them. The second observation is the fact that kids have to actually literally play every single sport in some of these small town areas in order for them to fill out all the teams. And the third observation is the fact that most of these kids, especially in Bozeman's, parents already own businesses or are already well off. So they know all they really have to do is graduate from high school, get a degree in business, and they go right into the future that their parents have already set up for them. When I left that meeting with Coach Hughes, I was quite confused because we still had not come up with any type of solution to the question that we had posed. And as I walked to my car, I literally got a phone call from my best friend in Memphis, Tennessee. And when we talked, I gave him the same question that Coach Hughes and I had just talked about in lunch. And he came up with a very, very good observation that has stuck with me to this day. He said, you see, the difference between kids in Memphis, Tennessee, or Los Angeles, California, is the fact that they love the game of basketball. You see, kids in Montana just like it. They like the fact that they can wear basketball shoes, basketball clothing. They like the fact that they can go to ESPN and watch a nice game and then go and interpret what they've seen on the court. They like the whole feeling of saying that they're on a basketball team, but they don't love the game of basketball. You see, kids in the inner cities literally have to have basketball in order to make it out of the circumstances that they're in every day. Whether it's drugs and violence, whether it's parents who have their own addictions, or whether it's just a gang life that lives up and down their streets.
Let me ask you this question.
Yep.
That's what these guys think. I just literally kind of got this. The kids in Montana, they don't love basketball. Like, what was that little boy's name?
Robbie Burrow.
Robbie Burrows. My little buck-toothed buddy, I'm going to be a professional basketball player. The kids up in Montana are more like Heather McPhee, who probably went to bed with her ski boots because she loved to ski. Jeff Olson, the Olympic skier from Bozeman, Montana, loved to ski. So how do we get these kids to love basketball? Try that. This is how it feels.
As far as talking,
Well, he's trying to get you, the aspect of the love thing.
right,
And the thumb didn't really access it.
Yeah.
You had
Right.
used your thumb to say love. He's giving you that story. You can, envelop it a little bit. I know a boy who so loved basketball. He started out with the Liz Nicole thing, telling
Right.
the story.
And now where's he today?
Playing for Florida State.
Say where he is today, yes.
So here's my question. I have a story like that later on in the speech. Do I stick that in there earlier then?
Slip it right in there because it's like
Okay.
you accentuate the love.
Okay.
And it's like you have a couple of instances where you
Right.
talk about people that love their sport.
Right.
Like the kid that died a year ago.
Yeah.
And did you know what happened to Chris Townley, don't you?
Chris Townley? The one from, I play against him all the time. I don't know
Chris
what.
Townley is the one.
Pastor at the, yeah.
Yeah, and one of his best friends died almost a year later.
Okay.
And we're very upset.
Really?
That's why they're up here right now. I saw the picture with you and I was like, why is Chris in here? He was just in Arizona with Shannon, my friend, in pictures in Arizona.
Okay. So I moved that story. Okay, that's perfect because I was wondering where I was going to put that anyway.
But you got it. Let's go ahead and go to somebody else. And it's like really learning how to.
No, I'd like to hear.
I think
Okay,
he
go
needs to
ahead.
plan more. I think you need to practice like you look
He could
right
say-
now.